Hey guys, it's Cece, and today I'm here to talk about Supernatural. So a while back I made a video. It was a Harry Potter Q&A. I just asked people to ask me whatever questions they wanted about Harry Potter. It was a really fun video, and I asked if people were interested in future fandom Q&As. You all said yes. Many people requested Supernatural, so here we are. This is a Supernatural Q&A. I am answering questions about the CW's Supernatural. I asked for questions on Twitter and on Instagram. If you want to be a part of future videos, I ask a lot of questions on Twitter, especially about what videos people are interested in me doing, so be sure to go follow me on both of those social media sites. It's at @ccewing_. You can go join in. I do some fun stuff on Twitter and Instagram. You should be following me, and then you could have also asked a question about Supernatural. But yeah, I don't have a lot more setup than that. I have a bunch of questions that you all asked, and I'm going to answer. Let's just jump right in. So first we have a question from Ashley, who asked, who is your favorite character and why? Anyone who knows me at all will know that Cass is forever my favorite character. I adore Castiel. I talk a little bit about why I love Cass in my favorite male characters video that I did, if you want to go check that out, but obviously I'll explain a little bit more now. My favorite aspect about Castiel has been his emotional journey, and it's why I am so endeared to him as a character. He started out as this really abrasive character who didn't know what his place was, he didn't know how to have agency, he didn't really know what it meant to care about people beyond a mission, and I love that he's learned all of those things, that he's become a softer person. I love that he stumbled into learning humor and sarcasm and caring about the people in your life. I also love him for all of his flaws. There are many. Obviously, I don't think Cass is like this perfect person, because then he wouldn't be my favorite character. I think he's too single-minded and internal at times. I don't know. I think that there's a lot to love about Castiel as a character. He is why I kept watching the show for as long as I did, because he's just fantastic, and I love him. Okay, so Ronell, I think, asked a couple of questions. So first of all, favorite angel besides Cass. Thank you. You get me as a person. So my favorite angel besides Castiel is gonna be kind of an easy one, and that's Gabriel. I just loved Gabriel for the few episodes that he was in. He gave us some of the most funny episodes of the entire show, but also I love his more intense moments, especially stuff in like Hammer of the Gods, the very end of Changing Channels. I just am fascinated by the morality and the agency of angels, so when angel characters explore those things, that's what I'm there for. I did also really love Hannah when she was around. I thought she was a pretty cool angel and a pretty cool character. See, Ronell also asked favorite demon. Ooh, okay, so this depends. If Knights of Hell count, Abaddon is my favorite demon. She could kill me and I would thank her. She is so fabulous. I love Abaddon. She's so pretty too. She's just... But if Knights of Hell don't count, since she's like a super demon, then probably Ruby would be my second choice. Her storyline in season 4, I think, is just done particularly well. It's a great build-up. I don't know, I just thought her storyline for that season was written particularly well, and her big speech at the end of season 4 is fantastic. And the last question that they asked was, what is the monster or supernatural creature you would fear most to meet in real life? We're gonna go back way, way early for this one. I'm talking like the second episode of the show. I would be pretty terrified to meet a Wendigo. I have said in other videos that I fear the woods, and so any creature that lives in the woods is just gonna heighten my terror for that creature, but also the Wendigo was like really, really scary. Kaylin asked, what are your thoughts on the female characters in the series / the treatment of women? Ooh. So I should get out there that I haven't watched the show since the end of season 10, and the reason I stopped watching the show was almost directly due to my feelings on the show's treatment of women. I think the show consistently does a pretty piss-poor job of representing the women, of giving them full storylines. The show has a long history of killing off every woman it can get its hands on, and like, still does. They still find female characters from the early seasons who they like forgot to kill off, that they bring into the show just to kill them off. Like, I may not watch the show anymore, but I keep up to date on what's happening, and I don't know exactly what happened with Missouri, but Also, there was an episode in season 8 that infuriated me where they brought back Sarah. I think she was originally introduced in season 2, and they brought her back, like, just to kill her. why? So yeah, I have a long-standing, unhappy relationship with Supernatural and its treatment of women, and its treatment of Charlie specifically is what made me stop watching the show. Oh, actually there's a question about that. Someone asked, was there something specific that made you stop watching it? Yes! The thing that made me stop watching the show was killing off Charlie at the end of season 10. I really had felt like maybe the show was learning from its mistakes, learning not to fridge female characters, but they so viciously fridged Charlie, who was like my favorite side character of the show. She was my favorite because she represented me. She was a girl who was interested in fandom and she's gay, and that was me watching the show. And so to watch her be murdered felt like a real punch in the face as a fan, because it just felt like the showrunners telling me again that they just didn't care about me seeing myself in TV that I watch. And like, killing her on her own to promote man angst would have been bad enough, but the entire setup of her death was so absurd and forced just to make it seem like they had to do it, and it was just really forced. They didn't need to do it, and you could tell they didn't need to do it, and I'll never be over it, and it's why I stopped watching the show. Okay, flipping around to some more positive questions, we have one from Michaela, who asked, best Dean death in Mystery Spot. I'm fond of the tacos. Tacos are a good one, but my favorite will always be when a piano falls out of the sky. I mean, there's nothing more perfect than that. It comes completely out of nowhere. He's crushed by a piano. Oh my god. Sarah asked, what are your thoughts on the upcoming Wayward spinoff, and are you planning to watch it? Okay, so I haven't quite decided on this yet. I am thrilled that they are doing a spinoff, the Wayward Daughters spinoff. Is that what it wound up being called? I just know that that was like the hashtag that was going around. So Wayward is going to be about basically a whole collection of female characters. It's going to be about Jodie and Donna, and then the teenage girl characters are Claire, Alex, and Missouri's granddaughter? I will say that I'm interested and that I am so excited it's being made. When it was just originally a fandom thing that people were asking for, I was really behind it and supportive of it. And the fact that it's actually happening is a way better spin-off idea than whatever Bloodlines was. That thing was a mess. So, tentatively, I would like to watch it because it's a storyline that I'm interested in and invested in. However, I'm really frustrated because it seems like the same writers from Supernatural are writing for the show, and I don't know that I want to support it if they don't hire some goddamn female writers. That's been a huge part of where Supernatural has been failing for the past 13 years, is that the creative team is so predominantly male. And if that same creative team is writing for Wayward Daughters, then I mean, they're gonna kill off all 5 women in the first season and then somehow it'll be about men anyway. Just get some women in there to write for this show. Please support, like, female-led shows with female creative teams. So yeah, those are my loose feelings on Wayward. I want to watch it, but they're gonna have to get their asses in line and figure out some stuff. Alright, so best ship on the show. Y'all know this. Y'all know this. Dusty L, man. Dusty L forever. Dean and Cass. They so in love. They're so in love. I just spend so much of my time watching this show thinking, make it gay, you cowards, or make it bi. Like, give Dean the bi storyline that he clearly needs. But I have just always been invested in the profound bond between Dean and Castiel. I think that they love each other, and I think that that deserves to be represented in the show. They're just... I love them. I love them. Jasmine asked, is there anything the show could do that would get you interested in watching again? At this point, there is literally only one thing the show could do that would make me watch it again. The only thing the show could do that would get me to actually start watching episodes again would be if, like, I don't know, Dean and Cass made out, declared their love for each other. Well, kind of already did that. Declared more directly their love for each other. Like, reading about their relationship was a huge part of me starting to recognize my own sexuality and coming out, so only that relationship would ever pull me back into the show. And it's never gonna happen, so I'm never gonna watch the show again. Like, I'll rewatch old seasons, but I'm never going to be the avid watcher of the show that I once was. Stephanie asked, what dead character do you miss the most and why? So I'm not going to say Charlie for this one. She's the death I would like most to reverse, but I think the dead character that I missed the most in terms of storyline was Bobby. I mean, look at this grumpy little guy. I miss him. I think the show falls back way too often on killing characters to give emotional arcs instead of recognizing that building a cast of characters is going to make their show stronger. And I think the storyline that they had going, especially in season 5, that family coming together storyline, is when the show was at its strongest. So I'm sad Bobby's dead because I think he had a valuable part to play in Sam and Dean's lives, and I just want the showrunners to recognize that there are more compelling storylines than death and mourning. It's Not Just Music asked, which death made you the saddest? So I think this also goes back to Bobby. I remember watching the episode that he died and just sobbing through it because I had no idea. There were so many aspects of the show that had been spoiled beforehand for me, but Bobby's death wasn't one of them, so I was completely unprepared. I was a mess. Timeless Alice asks, which are your favorite episodes? I actually have a full video dedicated to that, which I will link up on the screen. You can go and watch it. It is my top 10 episodes of Supernatural, ranked and in order. A lot of them feature Cass, just to let you know. But my favorite episode is Swan Song, the season 5 finale episode. It's just so great. Reese Johnson asked, which season is your favorite so far? My favorite season is season 5. It's the reason why Swan Song is my favorite finale. I think season 5 is the strongest narratively. I think it's the strongest in terms of character development, of cohesive storylines, of expanding the universe of the show and the mythology of the show. It had the strongest cameo characters, some of the strongest monsters, and I think it's a season that has the fewest really weak episodes. I just feel like season 5 stands so far above the rest, there's like no way to compare them. JCHN Lauren asked, who are your least favorite characters? Least favorite characters. So these two go hand in hand. I don't like Rowena and I don't like Crowley, or I guess I didn't like them. I thought Crowley was really interesting initially, but I think he fell victim to being overused, and he really lost a lot of the things that made him an interesting and scary character. I'm not invested in the King of Hell going all soft and having mommy issues. It just wasn't compelling to me. I liked Crowley when he originally showed up, and he was this crossroads demon and this character that you were kind of scared of, but was also really funny and engaging. So it was really disappointing to see his character go way downhill as the seasons went on. But also, I don't think Rowena helped at all. I didn't like her at any point in the show. I remember it was supposed to be like a huge plot twist that she was Crowley's mom, which was weird because from the moment she showed up, I was kind of like, oh, this is probably Crowley's mom. But I just feel like she didn't have that much to offer to the show, and she really dragged down Crowley's storyline. She never had a strong enough storyline of her own that I could appreciate it. What are your favorite episodes from seasons 9, 10, 11, and 12? Okay, so I've watched all of seasons 9 and 10. I've watched 1 episode, 2 episodes from season 11, and I think I watched 1 episode from season 12. I don't really remember any episodes from season 9 that stood out to me. I think that was a real rough season and had some of my least favorite episodes of the show. But season 10 did have a couple that stand out to me as being enjoyable. That was the season that they had fan fiction, which was their 200th episode. It was one of their really meta episodes that they tend to do, and it was a bit over the top for me, but I loved the musical elements of it. I liked it kind of scratching that fourth wall pretty intensely. I thought it was fun. I also remember liking Ask Jeeves in season 10, which was set up like a Clue kind of episode. That was a good time. And I loved About a Boy. About a Boy is the one where Dean gets de-aged, and I really enjoyed it. Dean is my favorite of the two brothers. He's my second favorite character in the show, and I just think that some of the Dean-centric episodes are so phenomenal, and I really liked About a Boy. I thought it was funny and cute, and I love the kid who plays young Dean. There have been a variety of young Deans, but that kid is my standout favorite. What is that kid's name? Dylan Everett. Dylan Everett. He makes such a great young Dean. He's really great in that other episode with young Dean, with the Dean backstory at the summer camp. Which one was that? Bad Boys. That was the one in season 9 I really liked. Bad Boys was really good. I love Dean storylines. And as far as the one episode I watched in season, was it 11 or 12? I don't remember, but it was Baby, the episode that's all from the point of view of the Impala. I watched that one and I thought it was like such a great look back into what the show used to be and the first couple of seasons, and I loved watching it. Tay asked, what's your favorite imaginary, of course until it becomes real, scene you've imagined in your head about when Destiel gets together? Okay. I don't know if I can do this. I think the thing that I would want most, and the thing that I always used to say when I was really advocating, like, the show should do this, back when I had, like, hope and dreams, was I wanted Cass to be involved in cases still, and I didn't want the show to change. I just wanted there to be, like, more casual intimacy between the two of them. That would be enough for me. Obviously, I love the big dramatic getting together moments that always happen in like Fic and Coda, and I love that idea of kind of the rise of it, and then they finally kiss, and it's great, but honestly, just that casual intimacy of them being involved in a relationship, while the show doesn't have to change that much, that was always my dream when it came to Destiel. Morgan Emerald Eyes asked, okay, have you ever heard the song Plead the Fifth? It's a Destiel song to the tune of Hallelujah. Yes, thank you for asking me this. So Plead the Fifth is by a girl named Kira Rose. She's the one who sings it. Okay, I know way too much about this. Basically, they were these two people on Tumblr. One friend wrote the songs, and then the other friend sang them. Hallelujah is the best one of them because Kira Rose has such a gorgeous voice, but there were a ton of other, like, supernatural parody type songs that she did that I loved. They're the ones who first did Hey There Castiel, which is to the tune of Hey There Delilah. It's burned so many other like parody songs to the tune of Hey There Delilah. There was one that came directly back, Hello My Hunter, which was written as like a direct response. You guys want to know some of my other like supernatural fandom music that I loved? There was this girl named Elizabeth Smart on Tumblr. I don't even remember her Tumblr anymore, but she wrote tons of supernatural music. All of it was fantastic. The Castiel song was my favorite one. I learned how to play it on the guitar when I was still like a beginner and I loved it. There was Don't Be Dead and Forget Me that she also did. I had so much of her music on my iPod. And there's the song that made me learn to play guitar in the first place, the Destiel song, which was done by a girl named Haley Seal, and it's all words that Dean and Cass have actually said to each other in the show, just set to music, and it becomes a duet. It's the reason I learned how to play guitar, was to play that song, and it's really great. I feel like that was a lot of information and truly revealed how much I care. Morgan also asked, do I have a favorite supernatural fan fiction, or at least one that sticks out in your head the most? So I've kind of had a policy of not recommending fan fiction on my channel. Like, if people come to me directly, like, direct message me and ask for recommendations, I'll give them out, but it's kind of a thing I haven't done on my channel. So I'm not going to recommend to you any specific fics, but I'm going to tell you some of my favorite fic writers for the supernatural fandom. How about that? That's going to be my give and take here. So Musue is my absolute favorite. I love everything Musue writes. There's also Xylo Demon. I think that's how you pronounce their name. They write, first of all, amazing codas, but like these really long fics too that are really exciting. MN Wood writes great stuff. I love Mad. There's Book Baby. They write really low-key fic that I loved for a long time. Orange Crushed. Orange Crushed on Tumblr is Robot Mango, and Robot Mango is one of my favorite Tumblrs out there. She's so funny, but she also writes incredible fan fiction. And yeah, those are a few of my favorite fic writers for the supernatural universe. I have read a lot of fics by all of these people, and I love them all. And finally, the last question is, imagine you'd go on a road trip and could only choose 4 characters from Supernatural to fill Baby. Who would you choose? So I'm assuming I am there, and then I get to choose 4 other people who are also in the car. This is where it gets hard, because, or maybe it's not hard. It's not hard. I want Dean, Cass, Sam, and Charlie. It's actually not that hard. Because I would want Dean and Cass for sure, but it's not like I don't like Sam. I love Sam, and I would want him to be there because I like how the 3 of them all relate to each other. It's Team Free Will. And then Charlie, because she's my favorite side character, and we could totally geek out about stuff, and it would be great, and we would be BFFs forever. That would be either a great road trip or the worst road trip of all time. I have no idea. Okay guys, there you go. Those are some or all of the questions that I was asked about the TV show Supernatural. I hope you enjoyed listening to me answer your questions. If this is a format that you enjoy and want me to do future videos like this for various fandoms, let me know which fandoms you are interested in down below in the comments. Plus make sure to go follow me on Twitter, on Instagram, because that is where I'm going to ask for those questions should I decide to do future fandom-y Q&As. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in another video very soon. Bye!